Николай, Миша, Виктория. Hi, everyone. Как поживаете?
Хорошо, вполне.
Это хорошо. Я спрашивала у 4-го курса про биологистов. Не знаю, почему-то до них не дошла информация. Они не знают, что... А вы знаете о графике нашей работы, нет?
Нет.
Нет, да. Ну, может быть, студентов и не ставили в курс. Ну, писали, что в вузах с 8 февраля предполагается на форму не онлайн, а офлайн перейти. У нас было письмо из Москвы, и там сообщают, что, скорее всего, с 29 марта только. Ну, то есть, фактически, это 4-й модуль. Вот. То есть, раньше не предполагают возвращение к офлайн. Вот такие дела. Ну, то, что могу сказать на данный момент. Так, Катерина has arrived.
Здравствуйте.
Good morning. Там у меня дописано слово. Что-то я и восклицательный знак пропустила. Ладно, так. All we need has been sent to you. And так, 5 of you and another minute and we'll begin. Так, any questions? Какие-то вопросы, может быть, ко мне есть? Виктория Юншева has come. No? Никаких вопросов нет? Ну, вот что касается домашнего задания, прежде чем мы начнем, то вы, оно простое такое, особенно аудирование. Я, не знаю, есть ли необходимость высылки, что проверять смысла нет, у нас идет целое занятие в этом. Ну, если нужно, я вышлю ответы. Этого будет достаточно, хотя это все легко очень найти, конечно.
Вышлите, пожалуйста.
Да, я вышлю ответы, и вы просто сверитесь. Я почему вам это задание дала? Потому что оно, во-первых, непростое, ну, с точки зрения того, что там есть лексика, есть еще миграция животных и растений, к тому же. Вот. И Joseph has arrived. Good morning. Да, still good morning, Joseph.
Good morning.
So, and that's why I don't miss a chance of practicing while doing such exercises, especially IELTS-oriented exercises. So let's get started. Sophia has arrived. Good morning. So what about today's work? We'll continue speaking about migration. And Valeria, good morning. And I think this week we are going to stop our, to leave topic 1. That's why, as a result of our mutual work, you will have to write an essay. So maybe also describe a graph, as it's an unavoidable process, you know, but you should pull yourselves together, собраться надо, as don't forget that it'll be your last English module, unfortunately. So I have got used to you, and I have said it before, it's pleasant to work with you, so with as you are communicable students. If you have no questions, we'll first of all listen to Victoria Grabkova, as each of you might be given a task to make a report on definite issues. And what Victoria is going to speak about, she will say herself, but while this topic she's going to touch upon, as it's closely related to your homework, where it deals with the Museum of Immigration. And that's why not to leave your homework undone. completely, not done completely, it will be something to add above the information you might have learned from your homework. And again, да, и я вас прошу мне напомнить, чтобы я вам выслала, там, по-моему, уже сейчас закончилась доп-сессия. So that, Nick, I'll ask you, could you write to me and I'll send you the answers to your exam testing, yes? Because I
Okay.
I have asked whether I would do it. No, not as those who had to be re-examined. They might have dealt with the same texts. I don't know. That's why I couldn't do it. So that's why, Victoria, we are all ears, and maybe you will have any images to show. So maybe only words, but words. So, Victoria.
Okay, I have some images, но я не могу демонстрировать экран.
I should share the screen with you. Да, и мы с вами как договорились, что, значит, сейчас я захожу, и я вспомнила, как мы вместе. Так, минуточку. Так. Я должна зайти, вот, нажать у вас, вашу, и сделать вас организатором. Да? Я так делаю. And you can show it to
Okay,
us.
thank you. So, вы видите мой экран?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So today I will tell you about Migration Museums Network. This is a network of museums of memories about migration situation, about injustices suffered by refugees and migrants, and also their contribution to new communities, coordinated by International Coalition of Sites of Conscience. So this is a really global network. These museums are all over the world. On this map, you can see countries that marked, and in these countries, there are offline museums, migration museums. As a global network of migration museums, all of them come together. All of us come together to stress the importance of amplifying the voices of refugees, especially during pandemic situation when a lot of people just scared other people, doesn't matter what nationality they are, because of the COVID-19. And also as our world continues to battle widespread xenophobia and inequalities. While we represent vastly diverse groups, cultures, and heritages, the museums in this network embrace our joint responsibility to straighten and care for each other as global citizens. Today, there are no any offline, we can go to these museums offline, but there is a global online network. So you can maybe on Instagram, you can follow in this hashtag migration museums and know more about this network. And as a huge part of their work is in activities, and the most important is International Migrants Day, which is celebrated on December 18, but museums do organize activities 1 week before this day or 10 days before this day. And when it was available to organize offline things, so they it was about cooking and sharing meals together, about knowing more about cultures, and food of other nationalities. But now when all things doing online, there are also a lot of lectures and videos about migration situation and an importance of this situation in internet. So that's all.
Thank you very much. And, Виктория, да, и я сейчас себя делаю организатором. Сейчас, одну секундочку. Так. Как это сделать? Я должна на себя нажать. Конечно. Так, не очень мне это понятно. Виктория, так.
Вика, сделай, пожалуйста, Валентину Евгеньевну обратно
Да.
организатором.
Совершенно верно. Обратно,
да.
да.
У меня нет такого, потому что я
вы
организатор.
Вы сейчас организатор, Валентина Евгеньевна, а Вика просто соорганизатор.
Вы вот, у ваша картинка, которая, да, справа там 3 точечки в верхнем углу правом. Вы вот откройте.
Вы уже
организатором.
А вы уже организатор.
Да.
Хорошо. Замечательно. So, Victoria, and could you mention or indicate the site where you have found this information? You have mentioned this, but maybe the address of this site, so that I couldn't look for it. A helpful site, by the way, showing that there are lots of them, various sites, websites.
The main site is the website of the Site of Conscience.
Thank you. So, what I want, maybe any questions to Victoria? No? So, one moment I should focus on after your conversation. If we say, вот скажем, нет никаких там чего-то других, ну, например, идей или возможностей. In this situation, it's as follows. There are no other ideas. Я имею в виду, что мы с вами не можем сказать no any. Вот обратите на это, пожалуйста, внимание. То есть я не могу сказать there are no any, например, даже без other ideas. Нельзя так. Да? There are no any нельзя. Мы можем сказать there aren't any ideas. Мы можем сказать there are no ideas. Но мы не можем сказать there are no any ideas. Вы меня поняли, да? То есть комбинация с no и any у нас не годится. Это ясно, да? Вот это вот, ну, с точки зрения грамматики. Потом Виктория себя исправила, ну, как бы мы за чистоту с вами, да, рафинируем нашу, ну, migrant все потом было правильно исправлено, ну, потому что какие-то есть варианты, когда у нас может быть, например, direct, вот, может отличаться, ну, вот относительно migrants мы здесь I берем migrant, migration. There are no ideas, there aren't any ideas. Вот повторяю эти варианты. Thank you very much. It has been interesting. Okay. Now I have sent some materials, and that is why what we have said about the process of migration, of people being on the move. What do you need firstly? Let me show it. So we should wait for a while. Where it's written, это в вашем ящике, pathways 1. Вот давайте такое с вами найдем. Before I open it. Pathways 1. Вот найдите, пожалуйста, заголовок. Сейчас я это на экран выведу. Так. It looks like this. That's we'll need for a while. And principally we'll observe the information which is similar to what has been said, though it's not about museums, maybe looking approximately the same. What are you to do? Here we can see many visuals, some graphs, so visuals such as diagrams, pie charts. What I want from you is a kind of a summary of what you might see from this page and this one following the previous page. It concerns mostly the United States, whatever I have found from the student book called Pathways. So, and this one, it concerns Germany and Australia. So, we are to analyze, maybe trying to do our best. We'll analyze this visual information, and I'll divide you into groups. The first group will be involved in analyzing this particular information. It won't be hard to do, as indeed something has been done for you. For instance, on the example of Ellis Island, New York. And besides, ready-made sentences are given here. Here something to clarify, such as the word combination we have never come across before. That is gateway city. You can draw your attention to this word. That is, ну, скажем так, узловой город. Город стыковки, скажем так, внутренних и каких-то международных рейсов. Вот, gateway city. So, that's I wanted to add to what you might know. As for the word census, no, I think that census, do you know this word, census? Yeah or no? Who knows? Here, census data. If not, then I'll explain and you will see what it means. A census is a process of counting how many people, for instance, live here, or counting based on different methodological, for the sake of, I don't know, methodology of your research, for different purposes, reasons. Can you translate this word?
Перепись?
Ну да, что-то в этом духе, перепись, да, перепись, yes, you're right. So, that's for group number one. And and this information about Germany, it's not hard, but a few comments should be made. Here, indeed, you won't come across any hard words or unknown words. Even maybe this one, only this one, were displaced, if you say relocated, it would be the best explanation. A displaced person, it's also a migrant, but having moved or migrated to another place for the sake of political persecution, for the sake of, I don't know, ideology, for religious reasons, and so on. That's why as we haven't used this word very often, I have drawn your attention to it. And what else? No, I think principally all other non-nationals. Have a look at this combination. It's the same as a migrant. Non-national is a non-citizen. Человек, ну, скажем так, не имеющий гражданства. Instead of, it's good for your essay writing process, instead of migrants, immigrants, emigrants, you can use non-national. So, or a displaced person, refugee. We can expand our migration vocabulary in this way. That's why you don't need to say much, but just for the sake of your speaking process, for the sake of your speaking skills, say whatever you can, as much as you can, but within, I don't know, not more than a few minutes. And I'll divide you. I'll stop it for a while, and I should divide you. How many are you? 9. That's why there will be 3 groups. 3 groups, and скажите, пожалуйста, все понятно, что сделать. Просто делать комментарии вот по 2 этим. Я вам скажу, кто какие получает. Хотя получается 3 группы. Maybe more students than 2. Then maybe shall I divide you into 2 groups, which will be more logical, as we have only 2 visuals. Not visuals, but pictures. Как вы считаете? What's your opinion? Will it be more convenient? Как вы думаете?
I believe that a group with 4 or 5 participants is
Large, too large.
Is too large for
Okay, let them
conversation.
Так, и, значит, тогда у нас получится 3 группы. First group, София, Виктория, Валерия. Number 2, Владислава, Михаил, Николай. Number 3, Victoria, Joseph, Катерина. Shall I reshuffle you? Пожалуйста, могу перетасовать. Any wishes? No? No wishes. Ну, я понимаю, что да, как этический, неэтичный вопрос. So, так, you will be given some, how many minutes? 4 minutes, I think, or 5 minutes. How many minutes shall I give you? Сколько минут вам дать?
5 minutes?
5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes, and I'll open. So.
Привет.
Hi there. А нам надо описать и то, верно? Или как?
По-моему, одно.
А какое? Ладно, не суть. Так. Как я понимаю, каждый кружок, ну, как это называется, pie chart, там типа то, что темненьким, это сколько иностранцев там. Вот. Ну там на первой картинке
Ну да,
слева,
да.
So I'm sorry to have interrupted you, and you have image number 2, page number 2.
Окей.
So dealing with Germany and Tolstoy, remember.
Окей.
Australia, yes. Number 2. So leaving you.
As we can see, the most, I know, immigrants are from China, India, Vietnam, and I know, Philippines. То есть как бы все из Азии уезжают, но никто особо туда не приезжает.
Да, да, согласен. Сейчас, что, какое мы тогда вместо этого должны описать? То, что на следующей странице, 43-й?
Да-да-да-да-да. Ну, типа у нас восточная часть шарика.
Понятно.
Ну, типа это должно было быть на развороте, но
Угу,
как бы
окей,
вот.
окей. Ну да, вон в Дубае валят в основном.
Да, там такая стрелочка жирная.
Сидней, Дубай, Лос-Анджелес, Нью-Йорк и Москва.
В Москву? Да
Ну там
ладно.
вон уходит оранж. Из Москвы. Сидней. Ой.
Как это, я очень сильно удивился, когда, ну, типа, ты предположил бы, что из Сиднея в Москву?
Там даже не в Москву, там в United Kingdom. Из Англии в Сидней. Из
Прикольно.
Москвы стрелочек вообще нету никаких.
М,
Из Англии в Сидней, а из Индии в Дубае и в Европ, Лондон, в частности. Да.
То есть также видно, что типа, ну вот, если мы почитаем, ну, плашечки Германия, Австралия, то типа в основном люди, ну, понятное дело, иммигрировали во время каких-то больших неприятностей, ну, типа, а, you know, the Second World War. Нет, она просто
Ну, просто
Second World
больших
War,
проблем.
да. Влада, как будет Вторая мировая, с артиклем или без?
По-моему, без.
Вот мне тоже так кажется. То есть просто Second World War, так?
Ну, вроде, да.
Окей.
Но это не точно.
Ну, типа как имя, как называется, собственно, Окей. И вот типа, как это, мы еще можем сделать акцент на том, что many people immigrate to Dubai. So in Saudi Arabia, 70% of its workforce was made up of foreigners. Ну, типа, как бы у них вся рабочая сила почти это приезжие.
Мгм.
И типа, и 30% популяции это, ну, как бы, коренные жители. То есть там парадоксальная ситуация, скажем так. Ну, а теперь это все остается сказать на английском.
И связать у меня.
Да, и связать. Найс. Ну что, обратно?
Да, пойдемте.
А у вас звук выключен.
Да, конечно, it's my fault, I'm sorry. So that's why I will share your ideas. Так, София, Виктория, Лера, so Joseph, Kate, and who else? Ну, Виктория.
Me?
Could you begin? Anything you say will be good for our speaking practice. The idea is speaking based on definite visual information. That's we should pursue this idea.
Should I use the scheme for the question?
Да, только просьба в микрофончик, да, если можно говорить.
Is it better now?
Ага.
Okay. I have a question. Should I start or based on the scheme I can see all the questions or?
No, you can start. You can begin.
Okay.
It's a kind of exchanging ideas. That's we can call it.
So our map key was about the North and South America, and we can look at the map and see that the majority of the circles, also known as gateways, where the majority of the migrants come and migrate to these circles, the points of the on the map is located near the sea or the ocean. So I can suppose that the majority of migrants come here using the sea ways, using ships or boats, and the majority of the migrants come from those countries where the situation is not very peaceful. For instance, from Mexico to America, to Los Angeles or to New York, from Jamaica to New York or Dominican Republic to New York. So the majority of those people maybe run away from any problems in their native countries, as far as I can see it on the map. Well,
thank you. So anybody else to contribute to our talk? The point of view you are presenting depends on your judgment, so which might be subjective. We don't need to manifest our scientific perception of what we are discussing. So, but still, speaking is focused on. So maybe Joseph, your point of view, your contribution to.
Yeah, what I think about migration. Let me talk about Europe, and during these 5 minutes we talked about Germany.
Number two, you have chosen number two.
Yeah.
Then not. No, we are still here.
Okay, let me then talk about this about number 2 page. What we can see here that some migrants went to South America, to Buenos Aires in Argentina, and I think the reason is that there are many possibilities to work there, because you can go to rural areas and organize the business. Then the most of migration processes are in the United States of America, and we can see the migration centers are New York and Los Angeles, and they are well known as big cities, megapolises that can offer jobs, and that's why people can get there and find the place and find the job where they can get more money.
So it's not for nothing, что означает не зря. It's not for nothing that we can see as much visual information as this particular student book, which is called Pathways. So is initiated by the American Geographical Society. So, and it's a sponsor of this series of student books. And it contains much information which is represented in such a way with many interesting exercises, informative exercises. Thank you. So, and don't forget that I have highlighted this word, drawn your attention to it, gateway cities. Yes, don't forget that. You might use it maybe in one of your ideas. So maybe Kate, can you mention anything else related to gateway cities? No? Or Sophia?
Да.
What is it?
А какой, собственно, вопрос был?
Those who want to speak, so you feel free to say something.
Мы в свою часть, про Нью-Йорк и United States тоже сказано, вроде было, то, что мы обсуждали в группе.
No other ideas, yes? No, as far as I understand. Okay, no, let's not get stuck here, not to waste our time. We'll move on to this particular page, dealing with Germany, Australia, and Saudi Arabia. So, as far as I remember, the rest of you is responsible for this. So, which of you may continue our conversation. Who's the first?
I can start.
Certainly you can.
So in the east part of our world, there are several gateway cities. The main are Dubai, Sydney, and Hong Kong. So we can see a tendency that people from Asia are migrating to Dubai, the USA, and to Australia. And the biggest migration channel is from India to Dubai.
Point of destination, you can say. Point of destination.
Okay, point of destination. And so historically, many people traveled to other countries.
Other countries.
To other countries in case of wars or illnesses or something horrible happening in their own country. Like we can see in I know in small in small parts of text about Germany and Australia. However, there is one more interesting case, and it is the case of Saudi Arabia. So in Saudi Arabia, about 70% of its workforce is made up of foreigners. So this country actually exists because of immigrants. So there is a tiny part of I know native livers there.
Residents.
Residents.
Native residents, so citizens.
Yes.
Nationals, in other words, non-nationals, nationals, national residents, native citizens, native dwellers. Dwellers — это тоже жители. Мы скажем, житель — это у нас inhabitant, можем сказать. Мы можем сказать просто population. Мы можем сказать citizens, да, вот. И что еще? Да, вот так вот. Просто people можно сказать. So that you can use different words for the same. It's good if you vary these words. Saudi Arabia, да, у нас считается Saudi Arabia, Australia, Germany. You know, so thank you, Nick, for your contribution. Maybe anyone else who would like to add to what has been said? Anybody else? No? No? Ответ тишина. Ну ладно. So, as for Turkey, it's a matter of discussion, special discussion, you know. Turkish people in Germany might be, I don't know, for a number of reasons considered or compared to Indians in Britain, which might be strange, but still it's so. Though Turkey is not, has never been a colony, German colony, but you might know that Germany's borders, это у нас границы, are so common with Turkey. So I mean that Turkey is a German neighbor, and based on it, many Turkish people used to not only migrate, but used to cross the borders. So it has become, I would say, notorious tradition. Notorious — такая печально известная, even not tradition, but trend. And in the 20th century and earlier, I think it lasted for a long period of time, there were very many Turkish workers. And on the one hand, they have always been granted or supplied with dirty work, such as cleaners, I don't know, hotel workers, such as maids, and others. And other cleaners, collectors, rubbish collectors. At the same time, you know, in this particular situation, they have always been positioned as competitors within Germany. as German labor force or workforce had been suffering through this process, having had clashes with Turkish workers. Clashes — это какие-то стычки. So, a lack of work and the presence of unemployment created and led to the worsening between German citizens and Turkish citizens on the other hand. It used to be, and it's still now. That's why the German attitude to Turkey is to a large extent fueled or determined, как бы обусловлен by this, I don't know, everlasting problem relations between two neighbors, which have always existed throughout the history of mankind. Вот всегда отношения между соседями какие-то или хорошие, или плохие по жизни, да, вы меня поняли, всегда существовали. Why have I compared Turkey with India? Because maybe I have spoken about before. India takes special, though we haven't got any information about India, but I have made a comparison between India and Turkey, as whenever you are in Britain, wherever you go there, everywhere you will come across lots of Indians, and they have been working there for ages. As it's clear, India used to be a British colony, and lots of Indian people, lots of Indians have become prosperous people, affluent people. They might have set up their own businesses, their own well-known, world-known firms throughout our planet, I would say, pharmaceutical firms and others. That's where it makes some difference to compare Turkish people in Germany and Indian people in Britain. These ideas are incompatible, несовместимы, though the idea is similar. Migrants, but of different origin. That's my idea to contribute. Ну, я, извините, много говорила, but it's something, maybe anybody else? Ну, вы меня поняли, да? То есть турков не любят Германию очень. So,
I can add some information.
yeah,
I
yes,
watched
yes,
a film. It's called Alemania, and it explains the life of Turkish people in Germany. Of Turkish people, one family of Turkish who came to Germany, and they in the first period they lived in a very small flat. They had 3 children, and it was very uncomfortable for them. But when the children grew up, they got an education, an undergraduate degree, and could integrate. But their parents, that was a problem for them to integrate in the whole German culture.
Yes, what you have said is important, as firstly, it depends on living standards. And in Germany, they are high. So, because, ну, как это, что немцу плохо, то нам хорошо, и наоборот, да? It means what it says. I fully agree with you. But I don't mean some conveniences, such as housing, I don't know, all kinds of other possibilities, but I mean something which is intangible. Intangible — это что-то, ну, как бы нематериальное. And you have spoken about tangible assets. Tangible assets — это материальные ценности. And there's still such an attitude, вот в частности отношения, да. That's why I have meant German people's attitude to them. That's I have meant. But I can agree with you. You know, I had now not neighbors next door to me living here in the same house, so block of flats, and you know, after immigrating to Germany, their working conditions became much better than here. But being fueled not by, I don't know, a country's better attitude to them, but a country's higher level living, a higher level of living standards. Вы меня поняли, да? If you were in Poland, the same could be the case, the same. In Poland, the standard of living is also high, and that's why the organization called OECD, organization dealing with European affairs and standards of living, annually publishes reports on all European countries' living standards. And if compared, Poland takes, I don't know, one of top positions in this rating, you know. That's something which is not present here. Okay, why have we been speaking with you? You know, for the sake of speaking, and you see that, we have a limited number of information, but we can develop a conversation which goes beyond our text. Да? То есть ту информацию, которую мы уже развернем вне нашего текста. And now we have approached this particular page. What we are doing now is mostly aimed at our speaking activities. And here we have case studies which should be discussed. Principally, you see that we have 3 case studies. AU, I think so, about Luca and Ibrahim. They are people, people to be considered to be observed, maybe, if analyzed. What are you to do? Also in groups, and here we have a better situation as you are 9 and we have 3 groups. Read these case studies about people who want to immigrate to other countries. Underline or highlight the most important information for each person. The information is very, very clear, so explicit, ясная, да, четкая такая, and that is why you don't need to be provided with any comments. And what are you to do next? At the next stage in your collaborative work, in cooperation and integrated work, so you will either make notes or explain, examining your particular case, list reasons to stay or leave for each person. Reasons to stay, reasons to leave. The first group, it's about AU. I think it's read like this. We haven't got any way of how to read it. So Luca or Luca, this is for group number 2, and it's for group number 3. No, you are suggested to form a group with another pair, but it will be maybe our common discussion. Firstly, this task. And how much time shall I give you to be discussed so that it could be discussed? 5 minutes again? Will it do?
I believe yes.
Yes. So, у вас это есть тоже. И so I'll open the same groups. Не надо, да, reshuffling делать? Не буду. Not to waste our time. And I look. It's all clear what to do.
Read the text and make a table.
Да.
А у каждой команды свой текст, да? 1, 2, 3.
Да, 1, 2, 3, да. Group number 1 is наоборот,
Хорошо.
да, и так далее, да. So 5 minutes. Try to speak, try all of you. I wish all of you could speak.
Так, мы вторая, поэтому нам второй. А что еще
Да.
раз? Кейс стадии 2? И Лука, который?
Да.
Окей. Что надо сделать с этим?
Чего?
Что надо с этим сделать?
Прочитать его текст и выписать причины остаться и уехать.
Понял, все.
Все прочитали.
Да.
Оп. Ну что? Что мы занесем в Reasons to Stay?
Слабое здоровье отца.
Согласен. А Reasons to Live?
Найти работу и работать архитектором, как он хочет.
Влада, у тебя еще что-то есть?
Ну, возможно, еще в Reasons to Live то, что его девушка согласна уехать. Ну, как еще один пунктик.
Ну, я себе выписал marriage. Ну, типа... Вот.
Так они же замуж будут здесь выходить, потом уедут. Ну как, жениться.
Свадьбу сыграть, да. Наоборот.
Ну, она, типа, хочет пожениться здесь, а потом, типа, все равно переехать.
Да. То есть это не как причина, чтобы уехать. Но она говорит...
Ну, согласен.
Сначала get married, а потом emigration.
Хорошо. Так сказать, girlfriend's wish. Если можно так. Окей. Кто хочет рассказать?
Я могу что-нибудь сказать. В целом.
Ну, это здорово. Влада, ты?
Да, мне без разницы, могу рассказать, могу нет.
Это Храброва хочет всех услышать. Я уже что-то там глаголил. Вот. Может быть, тогда Миша расскажет про Reasons to Stay, а Влада про Reasons to Live. Если что, я дополню.
Давайте, окей.
Давайте.
Классно. Переходим.
So we have come back and three situations. The first case study. Hey, who's responsible for this? Let us know and say all you think about this particular situation.
Well, my group of
Who are you?
Victoria.
Victoria. As far as I remember, Victoria has spoken. Okay. So, and who else is? Так, Sophia, да? Sophia and?
Yes.
And the third person is?
Валерия.
And Lera. Maybe София, ну я не буду так заставлять, да, I won't dominate. Say anybody can begin. The fact is you should speak.
Maybe I can begin.
Mm-hmm.
We read the story of Aya and analyzed her situation, in which reasons she can decide. Can decide to stay at her homeland, or reasons she can to leave for better life, for instance. And we came to idea that the main reason to stay for her is her young children. The case is her future, her housemates, that can be her employers, they cannot get visas for her children. And that may be, как можно сказать препятствие? Препятствие.
Obstacle.
Obstacle.
Barrier, obstacle. Mm-hmm. Stumbling block.
Barrier for her decision to get a job. That's my part.
Okay, that's where drawing some conclusions or inferences, can we insist on both external and internal reasons for that situation? For in both cases, reasons to stay and reasons to leave. Are the external and internal factors? Экстернальные, то есть внешние какие-то факторы, интернальные, внутренние.
I think that reasons to stay are internal factors. Yes, and reasons to leave are external.
External. So, besides, if we have two variables in this situation, reasons to stay, reason to leave, in this situation we have something to compare. Don't forget that you can compare, and comparison is the best way of how you can organize your information, such as you might say, whereas, on the one hand, on the other hand, however. Don't forget about these cohesive elements and the elements which can, I don't know, make your text cohesive, то есть целостным, да, когерентным текстом, так называемым целостным текстом. So I think you can share my opinion. Don't you?
Yes.
Can't?
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. Thank you. If so, we'll move on to our following story. That is Luca, case study 2. Whose is it? Nick?
I can say about reasons to stay.
Misha. So, Misha.
I think the main reason for stay for Luca it is that his father have poor health, and because of this, Luca must stay at home and take care of that. it's all a reason for to stay.
However, Luca can immigrate to New Zealand, and if his father's health become worse, he can just take a fly and visit him. So next, Vlada will talk about reasons to leave for Luca.
There are two main reasons to leave for him, and the first one is his dream job, because he wants to be an architect, but there are not enough architects in his country, so he wants to immigrate. And also his girlfriend's wishes. She offered him to get married and then emigrate to New Zealand.
Okay, thank you.
So, so finally, we believe that Luca should immigrate, but be in contact with his father in case of his illness getting worse.
Okay. Thanks. As for сделать предложение, мы не говорим offer, а говорим propose. Потому что propose, propose to somebody, причем с предлогом to. Это делать кому-то предложение, имеется в виду брачное, о браке, да? To propose to somebody. Это, к слову, будет сказано. This word has a specific meaning, so which means to get married. So that's a remark. Thank you. Thank you. All is clear here. If you haven't got anything else to add. And the last situation, all of them, as far as you understand, are obvious, so clear. Ibrahim. So, and the rest of you are responsible for this. Joseph and the company. So, could you?
Yes. Let me tell about Ibrahim and his reasons to leave. The first reason is definitely that he can be in the future a soccer player in a famous team. He can get to the other country, to France, which is more developed than Nigeria, and live in Europe. And I think Victoria can add about reasons to stay.
Yes, so the first reason to stay is because he don't know who this coach is, and maybe it's just a lie and he don't know for sure. He doesn't know for sure. And the second reason, because he has friends and parents in Nigeria, so maybe Nigeria. So maybe it will be not very easy to him to go abroad.
No, I don't think it'll be a barrier. So, thank you. All of you have spoken, and such case studies seem to be helpful as they facilitate and trigger the speaking process. And we'll move on to the following page. So, though it's based on listening, but it's autonomous enough. Here we have some ideas which are related to the process of migration. Так, 21. Have we got enough time? So, we'll do it not in groups, certainly, but without any extra time. So due to logical reasoning, we'll try by common effort, all students, to do sentence by sentence. And if we manage to do some of them, it will be good. If not, you will do the rest of them at home. So what I have to do is usually traditional task. Fill in the blanks with, here they are called from the books that can replace the words in parentheses. Parentheses здесь имеется в виду вот в этих скобочках круглых, да, то есть мы подбираем слово, которое соответствует слову в скобочках, да. Out of the list you should pick up one word. Could you consider, all of you, sentence one, and if you are ready, you may call this word. Which words are assimilate, settle, ancestors, minority, attitude, generation, positive, ethnic, discrimination, retain? You might not remember any of them, or do you know the word retain? Мы должны, конечно, все знать. What is retain? Who knows?
Что-то сохранять, держать, вот, что-то такое.
Principally, you're right, and if you retain, I won't say this Russian word, otherwise I'll help you. If you retain, you don't let it or them go. If you retain, you try to
Держать.
Not, you don't try to let them go. Is it clear?
Не пускать, да.
Ну, это образно говоря. So, as for ancestors, I think it's known to you. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, good. Sentence one. If you are ready, raise your hand. Symbolically.
I'm ready.
So, Nick, we'll read this idea.
My ancestors were from Russia.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we can see that Russia has been mentioned here, number one. Number two, will you have a look? It's not a very difficult exercise, but for a change. Again, if you are ready, signal.
I'm ready.
It's good, but... А потом скажут студенты, что слова не дают. Миша там, по-моему, примелькнул, да? Ну, просто чтобы демократические принципы какие-то были соблюдены.
I'm ready.
So, Sophia, what is it?
The Aborigines are a minority.
Minority, undoubtedly.
Minority in Australia.
Да, minority. Да, потому что minority это меньшинство, да? Здесь у нас получается small minority, they are related with. Thank you very much, minors. Майноры ваши студенческие. Number 3.
I can.
Okay, now you.
Yeah.
Кто-то сказал мяу, да? Ага.
Yeah.
Это Виктория, да?
Я очень...
Ага. Я вас по микрофону узнаю.
Most of the younger generation
Yes.
can speak English well.
Yes, you're right. Извините. I really sorry. Okay. So generation number 4.
I can.
Victoria.
Carlos had a very positive experience studying in Beijing. He said his classmates were really friendly.
Yes. So, what else if not this one? Number 5.
I can.
Lera.
One day I would like to settle in Canada.
Settle, yes. Number 6.
I'm ready.
Мгм.
My family came from Sweden a very long ago, but we still retain some of the old
Yes,
Swedish
yes,
customs.
yes, yes. That's we need to retain. Ну, как бы сохраняем, да, удерживаем, грубо говоря. So, number 7.
Well, I can.
Виктория.
Yeah. Ethnic. Just a second, please. I cannot find. Yeah. Malaysia is the home of many different ethnic, including Malays, Chinese, Indians, and
Yes,
tribal people.
yes, thank you. The following one.
I'm ready. Some immigrants think that they should try very hard not to assimilate or
Yes.
learn the language of the
Да.
country they are living in.
Да, и обратите внимание, вот adopt с буквой «eu», еще раз, это то, что мы говорим принимать, да, то есть, скажем так, привыкать принимать это. Нет, привыкать как раз не пойдет. Есть adapt, и оно ассоциируется адаптироваться, вот именно с привыканием, да. Здесь имеется в виду, ну, как бы, грубо говоря, принимать какие-то законы, в данном случае обычаи и так далее. Вот в этом случае у нас идет «eu». Вот. И то же самое касается детей. Если детей, брать приемных детей, adopt, да, у нас будет тоже буква «eu». So, number 9.
I'm ready.
Ну, let it be so, though that students have equal rights. So, okay.
In the past, there was a lot of discrimination towards people from the southern part of my country.
Yes, thank you very much. And the last one, but not Nick, somebody else, because I haven't heard. I think Joseph, maybe you read it. What is left out of our list? Maybe Joseph. Absent, maybe. Being absent.
He is not among us.
Ага. Ну, ой, ну тогда кто? Уже не выдержал на Джозеф. Ну
Я
что?
могу.
Да. So,
My grandmother didn't like foreigners, but then she had a doctor from India and she really liked him. That changed her attitude about them completely.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. And now we'll stop our demonstration and в принципе, your homework, да, у нас тут кто-то был уже. Ваше задание, оно, в принципе, в папке, в том, что у нас идет, я вам на почту отправляла, там есть маленькое аудирование и задание к нему. Вот одна страничка заданий, сейчас я вам очень быстро покажу, хотя уже 30 минут, ну вот.
Скажите, а какой файл из...
Я сейчас вам сейчас скажу, одну секундочку, я вам и хочу это сказать. Значит, у нас получается, значит, там идет вот Rate of UK Immigration, вот это вот файл аудирования, это несложно. И вот идет у нас файл, сейчас, минутку, первый, вот только его, вот только первый файл нужно сделать.
Как
То есть, вот
называется?
Здесь... Да, сейчас я вам его покажу, одну секунду. Сейчас я покажу, вернусь и выгляжу. Ну, аудирование вы увидите, а этот файл, вот он выглядит как this one. И он получается у нас вот здесь...
Его полностью сделать?
Да, здесь будет вам несложно, потому что это чисто постановочные, они на какую-то лексику. Вот, видите? Здесь вы, когда будете прослушивать, вот вставите слова. Здесь как бы предварительные задания для этого дают. True, false, да, before reading, before listening. That's your homework. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. See you on Thursday. If you have no questions, so any questions, not?
Да, подскажите, пожалуйста, там с home reading, там сколько надо слов или символов?
Я скажу про home reading. Ну, дело в том, что, вы знаете, я к этому подхожу прагматически. Вам скажите, пожалуйста, хочется читать это? Вообще нужно, да? Но на вашу подготовку... Вот мы должны быть прагматически настроенными, потому что читать надо, но просто это в экзамен никак не, к вашей подготовке это нисколько не привнесет. И я не думаю, что это принесет в ваши головы тоже очень много знаний. Вот в этот оставшийся промежуток времени. Я просто посоветую со Светланой Николаевной, да, вот. И если это будет возможно, мы просто уберем эту часть, потому что у нас мало, не так много времени. Вы меня поняли, да?
Хорошо.
В принципе, это должно быть. Я вот просто посоветуюсь с коллегами, потому что я знаю, что некоторые коллеги в условиях онлайн просто это убрали, эту деятельность, учитывая, что мы и так с вами страдающая страна. Я вам скажу спасибо за вопрос, да, я об этом как бы уже надо думать. Спасибо, thank you. Okay.
Okay, thank you, goodbye.
Да, ну мы должны на встречу студентам, по желаниям студентов. До свидания.